everyone, and welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Rainbow.
Today, Rainbow, we are starting out on a 3-day journey into the ancient stories of Baghdad. Are you excited?
Baghdad.
Baghdad, the capital of Iraq. You know, Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves and Sinbad and, Tale of 1,000 Nights or whatever, those great old stories from the Middle East and that part of the world. And so our story today...
It's a very long title.
It is a long title. It's an old story, so maybe they had to, use longer titles back then. I don't know. The ruined man who became rich again through a dream. So a guy had a dream, he had no money, he had a dream, and then he had money.
Cool. I want to be rich through a dream.
Well, that would be kind of great. But have you ever had any kind of dream where something happened and then later on in life, in your normal life, something similar happened to your dream?
Yes.
That happened to you?
I had a dream before 9/11 earthquake that there would be a very big earthquake.
Really?
And then there was a very big earthquake.
The 9/11 earthquake.
The 9/11 earthquake.
Right.
And I actually didn't wake up in the real earthquake, but I woke up during the dream.
Wow.
And then I dreamed that my shells fell down and then it hit the top of my bunk bed, but it didn't hit me.
Oh my gosh.
But during the actual earthquake, I didn't wake up at all.
Really?
Yeah.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever said, my house fell down, you owe me money because you had a dream? And no, that's good. That would be very unfair. Now, have you ever had any other dreams like that? And if you do, can you tell us all, the next day, if you have another dream about an earthquake?
Ooh,
I would like the warning. I would like to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's a very interesting dream about how something in a dream did kind of, in a way, come true. Now, let's see what happens in our story with the ruined man who became rich again through a dream. Maybe he dreamed of the winning lottery numbers.
Ooh, that's wonderful.
Once there was a very rich man in Baghdad. One day he lost everything and became very poor. Then, to earn a living, he had to do hard physical work.
So, the ruined man who became rich again through a dream. Now, we kind of learn a little bit about how the story goes in that long title because it starts with the ruined man.
Yeah.
And we will meet a ruined man at the beginning of our story. What does it mean to be ruined? Well, often when we use this adjective, we kind of mean destroyed, like many of the buildings around Nantou, for example, were ruined after the earthquake. They were knocked down, they were damaged, they were destroyed. You couldn't use them again. Here, though, we're talking about a man. It doesn't mean he had a motorcycle accident, broke all his bones. He's not damaged or destroyed in that way. Often when we use ruined in this way, we mean something like money. He's got no money. He's poor. He may have had money before, and because of bad business decisions or bad luck or an earthquake, he is now broke, bankrupt, penniless, no money, all right? So if a business person, for example, goes through a tough time, loses all their money, loses all their companies, they would be ruined. You could also maybe use it for someone about their emotions.
Oh, no.
Someone, if their boyfriend breaks up with them, or someone very close to them dies, they're ruined emotionally. They're broken down. They're very weak. They're very damaged. Some terrible thing has happened. But we generally do use it for people with their finances, their money, their business, their bank account. If it's empty because you used to have money but now you don't, you are ruined. So let's check out our story. But before we begin, we also learned that the man became rich from the title. He was ruined and then he became rich.
If you were ruined and you became rich, that means it's the opposite of ruin. But not only is it the opposite, being rich means you have a lot of money to spend. spend. So a rich person, what do? They could drive a really fancy car, they could buy expensive vacations, they could travel around the world, they could have many different houses. So you would be considered rich if you have money to spend. So this is going to be a story of how a person was super ruined, so he had no money, and then suddenly he had a lot of money. Okay, so
all because of a dream.
All because of a dream.
All because of a dream. So let's find out more about it. Sounds like an interesting story. It begins in a classic way. Once there was a very rich man in Baghdad. Oh, okay, so at the beginning of the story, he's actually very rich. He should have just stopped there. Don't have a dream, don't go to sleep, don't get ruined, stay rich.
What happened to him?
Yeah, nothing good, something bad happened.
One day, he lost everything and became very poor.
There you go.
I'm curious how he lost everything.
He invested in a bad idea, and there was an earthquake, and all his cows died.
And his family died.
And oh my gosh, that's terrible. Oh my gosh. Oh. Anyway, so he did a lot of bad things in business, or had a lot of bad luck maybe. He lost all his money. He became very poor. Then we read, to earn a living, he had to do hard physical work.
Ooh, well, there's some good words there.
Sure, yeah. If you're ruined, if you have no money, you still need money. You still need to earn a living. And when we use this phrase, to earn a living, we're talking about basically working to make money, all right? Yeah. If you're working to help your family or volunteering, you aren't earning your living that way because you're making no money. But if you have a job and you do the work and then you get paid after that, that is how you earn your living. And actually, we do often use this phrase as a way of saying your job. What do you do to earn your living? Is just another way of saying what do you do for work, or how do you make money? All right, so earning a living is doing something, that is the earning, and then getting the money for your life, for your living, all the money that you need. And in this case, because he didn't have his big companies or all his money, he was left with only physical work or physical labor.
Okay, so when we talk about physical, it means using your body. Physical is related to your body. So if you're doing physical work, it might be you have to lift something, you have to build something, you have to carry something. You are not just being a businessman who can sit there and watch the money come in. You have to do something with your hands, and maybe you are paid every hour or every week or every month. So that's really difficult, and we call that labor, which is hard work. So physical labor is earning a living using your body.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely not sitting at a desk in a nice office tapping away on a computer, working outside in the sun, using your body and your muscles. Let's take a break, and then we'll come back and find out how things are going to change for this poor, ruined man.
One night, the man dreamed about a stranger in his sleep. The stranger said,
"There's a great treasure for you in Cairo. Go there and find it."
The man set out for Cairo the next morning. After some time, he arrived there at night. He had no place to stay, so he found a mosque and went to sleep.
Okay, so let's see what happens to this man after he does physical labor. It must be really difficult for him because he was a businessman and now he just has to work with his body for some money, and it's super difficult. One night, the man dreamed about a stranger in his sleep. The stranger said, "There's a great treasure for you in Cairo. Go there and find it." So Cairo is a place in Egypt. And he has to travel from Baghdad and go find this treasure. What is this treasure? Is it money? Is it jewels? What is it? And is he going to follow that dream?
Well, that's a good question. It could be nothing because he just dreamed this message. It's not something someone wrote down or something he found, like a treasure map. It was just something he dreamed. And when we dream, we're having a dream. Here we're using it as a verb, but of course, when you dream, you're asleep and sort of images and pictures and things happen, but they only happen in your mind. This is not the real world. This is a dream. And when you're sleeping and your brain is kind of doing those funny things, often things that you don't remember when you wake up, but sometimes you do.
Sometimes you
This
do.
is what you dreamed, or this is your dream. We can use them both as a verb or noun to talk about that stuff that happens in our brain while we're sleeping. And in this dream, it was a stranger who came and gave him this weird message.
So stranger is a noun, and it comes from a verb you might have heard, which is strange. If something is strange, that means, what is it? I don't know. It's weird. I'm not familiar with this. If it's a stranger, ends in ER, that means it's a person. It's a person who is strange to you. That doesn't mean you think the person is weird. It means you don't know that person. So I don't know who this person is in my dream. He's a stranger, but he told me that there was a treasure. Even though I don't know him, maybe I should go and follow him because it sounds like that's something real that he's saying, which is that there is a treasure somewhere.
Interesting. Yeah, strange though, you're right. It's actually an adjective, not a verb, but it does mean weird and unusual. But you're right, a stranger might not be weird or unusual.
You just don't know them.
Someone you don't know. If you go to a party and meet someone, now you know their name, but a few seconds ago you didn't. They were a stranger to you at that time. And this stranger in the dream, so someone he doesn't know in a dream while he's sleeping, tells him that there's a treasure in Cairo. Believe me, go there. I looked it up, by the way. Baghdad to Cairo, 1,700 kilometers.
So how long would that take?
It's a far way to go because a stranger in a dream told you about a treasure, but it is a treasure.
But it's also so specific, right?
It is
like
very
Cairo,
specific.
wow.
And we're talking about a treasure, which of course is a noun. And when we use treasure in this kind of way, we're thinking, yes, of a pirate's treasure. Arr,
Jewels or
money. A box
money.
full of golden coins and jewels and pearls and all sorts of rich, expensive, fancy stuff. Other things could be treasures if you love old books. Finding an old bookstore with
Maybe old letters?
Books from 100 years ago. That could be a treasure. Or for you, your clothes, if you love them and collect them, those could be treasures. But generally, especially in stories like this, a treasure is only going to be a box full of gold and jewels and things like that. So of course now this man is ruined. He's got no money. He's got this terrible physical job. This dream has told him that a treasure is waiting there for you, but you have to go to Cairo. So what did the man do? Yeah, it says the man set out for Cairo the next morning. Set out meaning he left. He quit his job. He's like, I'm going to Cairo. And when people said, why? He said, a man in a dream told me there's a treasure there. And then everyone said, you're crazy. But he went anyway.
Yes, after some time, which is a lot of time, he arrived there at night.
Okay.
He had no place to stay, so he found a mosque and went to sleep. Oh, that's really nice. So we know that from this context, the mosque is a place where people can sleep, but actually it's not a place normally for sleeping. It's usually a place for worshiping. It's a round dome, and it's like a temple, and people can go in there and they can worship God. But here, because it's a public place and he didn't have anywhere to stay, he could walk inside, take off his shoes and take a nap for the evening and have some place to sleep. So I think we'll find out more about what happens to this guy tomorrow.
That's right. We should mention, of course, a mosque is a holy building for people in the Muslim religion or the Islam religion. That's the type, like a church for Christians or a temple for Buddhist people. Mosques are for people who are Muslim or Islamic. All right, yes, we're going to wrap it up there. The guy's got no money, but he's in Cairo and he's close to his treasure from a dream.
He'll be rich tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but we'll have to come back to find out. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Once there was a very rich man in Baghdad. One day he lost everything and became very poor. Then, to earn a living, he had to do hard physical work. One night, the man dreamed about a stranger in his sleep. The stranger said,
There's a great treasure for you in Cairo. Go there and find it.
The man set out for Cairo the next morning. After some time, he arrived there at night. He had no place to stay. So he found a mosque and went to sleep.
Hi， 大家好，我是 Stephanie。那我们今天来看单字。第一个呢是 rich， 形容词，富有的。Richard became rich overnight by winning the lottery. Richard 中了乐透，一夜致富。那第二个呢是动词 dream， 做梦，梦见。Last night I dreamed I was a cat. 我昨晚梦到自己是一只猫。那 dream 的三态呢，可以是 dream, dreamed, dreamed， 也可以是 dream, dreamt.dreamt。 第三个呢是 stranger， 名词，陌生人。As a kid, we were taught not to talk to strangers. 小时候我们被教育不要和陌生人说话。那最后一个单字呢是名词 treasure， 金银财宝或者是宝藏。Stories about adventures often include finding treasure. 关于冒险的故事通常都会包含寻找宝藏。那我们今天要看的第一个文法重点呢是 earn a living， 赚钱谋生。Angus earns a living as a fortune teller. Angus 靠算命赚钱谋生。earn 呢表示赚取、争得，后面的 living 是生计的意思哦。所以相反过来，如果你想询问别人的职业，就可以说 What do you do for a living？ 你靠什么谋生？那第二个重点呢是 in one's sleep， 在某人的睡梦中。She often rolls around in her sleep. 她睡觉常常翻来翻去。那像是睡觉的时候，我们可能会有的反应还有 talk in one's sleep， 也就是说梦话。比如说 Henry finds it funny when people talk in their sleep. Henry 觉得别人在说梦话很有趣。那第三个文法重点呢，就是 set out for a place， 动身前往某地。大家应该都有廉价出游的经验，通常高速公路都会挤爆大塞车，所以最好的方法呢，就是早点出发。那我们就用 set out for 加地点造一个句子。We plan to set out for Taidong at 4 a.m. 我们计划在凌晨4点出发去台东。
Taroko National Park is located in the eastern part of Taiwan. It covers parts of Hualien, Taichung, and Nantou counties. The total area of the park is 92,000 hectares. It is surrounded by mountains on 3 sides and faces the Pacific Ocean to the east. Taroko Gorge is one of the most popular tourist attractions in the park. It is cut by the Liwu River. People come here to see the amazing cliffs, waterfalls, valleys, and rocks with amazing shapes. Taroko National Park provides a variety of habitats for plants and animals. Some of them are endangered and in need of protection. Come to Taroko National Park and experience the awe of nature.
See you next time!